What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Parker Chronicles podcast. I am your host, the Parker XP, and joining us once again for it's literally been every episode. Well, right now we have one of the cutest couple on Twitch. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with it.
He's here somewhere.
We got Aradella, and then Dan will be joining us shortly. How we doing tonight?
Doing good.
That's good. That's good. I'm ready. I'm ready to talk Jaws 2. Because boy, oh boy, this movie is way more enjoyable than I remember. Even though I think I did enjoy this movie a lot when I was a kid. I really haven't seen this movie a whole lot compared to Jaws, of course. But watching this, I was like, man, this is actually a decent sequel.
I hadn't seen it till today.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, just wait for the next couple weeks. Those movies are beaut. There he is. The man himself.
Listen.
The man himself. What's up, Dan?
How you doing, sir? How you doing?
I am doing wonderful, my man. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Actually,
I watched this movie today, and it had been quite a while since I had seen this movie. And
fashionably late as always, Jonas. Fashionably late as always.
That's me.
Sorry.
Good. It's all good. Yeah. I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I expected to. Like, Roy Scheider really looked like he wanted to be there, even though there's some behind the scenes stuff that I've read where him and the director didn't get along so well.
That's fair. That's fair.
But you know, he put his heart and soul into this movie for it being for being something that I don't think he like. I think so the rumor is that Roy Scheider signed on to this because he heard that Spielberg was coming back.
Okay, that's fair.
Universal asked Spielberg if he would come back. Spielberg said, I'm not really in the mood to do a sequel. Like, Jaws 1 put a lot of strain on me, stressed me out, all that. I just don't want to go through that again. I want to do something else. He had just done Close Encounters a couple years before, and this is still a few years before the first Indiana Jones.
I did put a little lights too.
I'm glowing.
Keep going. I was just telling her something.
Well, don't worry. I'm glistening. It is hot down here. The glasses I'm wearing are fogging up. They might actually just come off because I can't see.
You got the beat sweats, dude?
Oh no, it's hot in this basement right now. I haven't set up my fan yet, and it's just really warm.
Fair.
But yeah, if you don't know, chat, this is the Parker Chronicles podcast where we review, dissect, and rank your favorite film franchises. And right now, we are in the middle of the Jaws franchise. Yes, it's a franchise. For people who only think that there is one movie, no, there are 4. Actually, technically, according from information Dan fed me last week, there is actually 5 Jaws films. Crazy.
Yeah, boy.
And to be honest, I think we're gonna have to do that Cruel Jaws at the end of this. We have to. Now that I since I have that knowledge. We have to do it. We have to do it. But yes, we do this podcast every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. DNA Gaming has been here all 6 episodes. So
you won't let us leave. I'm sorry. I've tried.
I keep begging them every week because this is a podcast that I do with my brother, Nemesis Angel. But he is busy getting his house all set up. He just bought a house, so he is. Yeah, air quotes. No, he's very busy trying to get all that set up. So, but the show must go on. So DNA Gaming has so graciously agreed to come join me, hopefully for the duration of this. But well, it's up to them. I'm not going to force them. But they're here.
That seems like one of those the illusion of choice kind of things. My
boss,
boss,
it's like I won't force them to. but I will beg every week when I'm running into a snag. You know,
I feel the guilt was real thick in that comment.
Oh my goodness. But yes, so chat, we do this live on twitch.tv/theparkerxp every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We also will be on YouTube at some point. Fortunately, my brother is the one who's setting the YouTube channel up, and he's busy. So we haven't really gotten that off the ground yet. But we are on podcast services. Right now we are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and soon to be on Google Podcasts. So you guys want to check us out there, just type in the Parker Chronicles in the search bar and it should pop right up. Oh, DNA. So blurry. So blurry.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know either. I'm just sitting here, dude.
Oh, so today we are talking about Jaws 2. Released June 16th, 1978. Almost 4 days. Almost 3 years to the date of the release of Jaws 1. This one was directed by, I'm going to butcher this man's name. He is a French director, Jeannot Swark, a French director who has directed not a lot of major films, mostly television, between Grey's Anatomy, Bones, Castle, Scandal, Supernatural. He's directed a lot of television shows in the early and mid and even now. He's actually the last thing he directed was an episode of Grey's Anatomy in 2019. So this man he's been busy, but not a lot of major motion pictures. I think Jaws 2 was probably one of his bigger films of his career, especially looking at the IMDb.
Hopefully Grey's Anatomy goes off the air so he stops having work. So
you don't even watch it.
We made our own subtitle for Jaws 2.
I already told him.
Oh, you did? Dang it.
No, you can but you gotta say it for the audience.
Yes. It's Jaws 2 back for snacks.
Back for snacks. Oh man. So yeah, like we were saying before, Spielberg was asked so this film was written by the same guys that wrote the first film, Carl Gottlieb, and I can't remember the other guy's name. But yeah, they asked Spielberg to come back, and Spielberg was like, I'm good. Pretty much. A lot of strain from the last film. Probably one of the worst productions of his career, even though it probably turned out to be one of the best things for his career.
Yep.
So they hire Jeannot. I'm just gonna call him Jeannot because that's his first name. So when they hired this guy, I believe they already had Roy Scheider on to reprise his role as Chief Brody. And so he was, he was very excited because he thought Spielberg was coming back. I think they kind of tricked him into coming back. They're like, hey, we're going to get Spielberg back. So do you want to do this? And he was like, hell yeah. And I think there was also rumors that Dreyfuss was going to come back as well. So that got him excited because I know him and Dreyfuss had a good relationship. But then he got on and both those things didn't happen. But they got a lot of people to come back in this film. I mean,
they did
a lot of original characters. And boy, does this film make me hate them even more than I did in the first film. The mayor, Murray Hamilton, who played Mayor Vaughn, Lorraine Gary, who I like in this film, who plays Ellen Brody, and my least favorite character. What is this guy's name?
The new dude,
the Len guy.
Yeah,
he sucks, and he was in the first one. He sucks, and so does his wife.
Was he in the first one?
Yeah, he was the guy that was talking to Brody on the beach when the Kittner boy gets killed.
So were they like, let's make this guy a big villain? Like, what was that push all about?
Yeah, I don't know. He's just a stupid politician that just gives a crap about money. I have to say though, the actor they got to play Mike was terrible. He was the most stone-faced kid ever. Like, there was no emotion from this kid. And I mean, here's the thing: this feels like a movie that was made in the 70s. Like, I feel like when you watch certain films that were made in certain decades, like the 80s or the 70s, sometimes they don't feel that way. So like some of the dialogue between characters, you're like, man, this is a 70s film.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Like between like when Michael's talking to his friends, very just God, some of the jokes were terrible.
Oh, they were awful.
But like when Martin and the mayor are talking to each other, or Martin and that Len guy are talking to each other, it's kind of a different vibe for me. Like it was like when the adults are talking, it's actually
the adults are talking.
Yeah, it's a more coherent conversation, and it brings me in more. So much screaming in this film. Oh my God. The girl,
Yes.
I can't remember her
Jackie.
name. Jackie.
Oh,
Holy
man.
crap.
Shut up.
I wish she would have just got eaten like
Oh
the
my
whole time,
Lord.
please.
Oh my Lord. It was just too much. It was too much.
He should see when they said, "Oh, you want to come meet my cousin?" He should be like, "No, just no,
Please
no,
go
no."
away.
Did you say eat or meat?
Either one, it's fine. Yeah,
so this movie, so you want to know the actual tagline for this film?
Sure. I didn't know
it was just when you thought it was safe to go back into the water. That was the actual tagline for Jaws 2.
Was there no tagline for the first one?
I don't think so.
That's stupid. That's stupid. So what you're telling me is all the kids sections were dead weight.
So bad. These kids are just bad.
Holy shit. I just realized it. Sorry to swear, but I just realized it. Another movie that did the exact same thing as this, another set of films, was Pacific Rim.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was followed up, like it is spectacular first film, in my opinion. Spectacular first film for both. Second one was followed up, not directed by the director from the original film, and all the crap with the kids was dead weight and ruined the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
A lot focused on Michael.
Yeah, a lot. He's the next generation. Like, oh God, please no.
Here's the thing though, is I feel so my thing is when Michael gets hurt and they're like, bring him to the hospital. I feel like that was the way that the director going, this kid is terrible. Let's get him out of here, because Sean, the little kid, he's more interesting than his brother. He was better actor.
What do we do with him? Just knock him out with part of the boat. What? Just knock him out.
And like some of these characters were like, in the beginning, they made him feel like they were a piece of shit. But then later on, they were like, oh, okay, Larry Jr., you're kind of a piece of garbage. But then later on, you're like, oh, okay, he's not that bad. And then he does something else that's stupid. Like to be honest, I think I probably would have done the same thing, where he literally takes Jackie and just shakes her. It's just like, shut up! Like, just stop.
If this movie had been released a decade earlier, about a decade earlier, he would have just slapped her.
He would have smacked her. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. 100%. I love I love the artwork for the cover art is actually really cool. This is the last time the cover art was actually cool for these films. I don't believe it was drawn by the same guy.
That's really good art. I see it now. I see it right there.
I really like it. I actually had the novelization of this book. My uncle gave it to me. It was written in I think it was written in 1977, right before, because usually the novelizations of films come out right before the movie comes out.
Was it better?
I don't remember. I've read it maybe once.
It's got to be on Audible, right?
I don't even. It wasn't written by Benchley. This was just.
I figured it was
just some guy. Yeah.
Hey, Todd and the accounting department, just write a novelization.
Hey man, just change a couple things. Exactly. Take the script and do your thing.
Adds a few commas, an extra period here and there. Boom.
Oh man. So some trivia. Steven Spielberg told the San Francisco Film Festival that making a sequel to anything is just a cheap carny trick. Yeah, he would go on to direct a lot of sequels in his career.
Yes, he would.
He did direct all 4 Indiana Jones films, the first 2 Jurassic Park films. That might be it, but that's a lot of sequels.
That's contradictory,
right? Yeah. This is early in his career. Before he went on to do that, when he, because I feel you can't put. Jaws 1 for me is always going to be the top.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing's going to be above it for me. But like when you look at like Indiana Jones is more of a profitable series, and there's a lot you can do with that series. Where Jaws just kept going, hey guys, let's just make a movie about a killer shark that attacks the same family for 4 films. Spoiler alert.
What if there's a Brody in the 5th one?
I will laugh my ass off.
That'd be so good. That'd be so good.
Oh my God. Oh man. Oh man.
Yes.
So John Williams actually wrote the score for this film.
I know. I didn't think it was him when I started. There's no way this is John Williams, and it kept going. I started hearing like music similar to the first one. I was like, wait a minute. And the credits like John Williams. I'm like, dang it, why?
No. Were you gonna say something?
I said we determined that Michael's middle name is Ford.
Yes, that's actually perfect. Yeah, so it says delays in shooting meant that John Williams was forced to start working on the score before the film was completed. So Roy Scheider actually was not originally meant to be in this film. He actually was cast in The Deer Hunter, which if nobody knows what The Deer Hunter is. It's a fantastic movie from the 70s about Vietnam War vets who venture back into the jungle, and there's a lot of messed up things in it, but it's really good. It's got like Christopher Walken and John Voight and Robert De Niro. He was supposed to be in that, but he backed out to do this because
oh boy.
Yeah.
Regrets.
But he said that he agreed to the terms, was resentful of his involvement from the onset, and clashed frequently with the director, which seems like that's a usual thing.
Did the director from this do anything? Like I'm not familiar with like foreign directors.
I don't know. I don't really know.
I'm gonna look. I'm just gonna look. I have to know.
Oh man, some of these facts are just fantastic. A few months before his death, Robert Shaw had the chance to see this movie at a private screening. His reaction was, "I'm glad I did not intervene in this piece of shit."
Yes.
Robert Shaw played Quint in Jaws 1, for anyone who is wondering, what? Man, some of the quotes.
Wow. Why was you look at this man's film repertoire like Jaws 2? This is the guy.
Because I feel like so this guy, I mean, clearly this guy didn't have a huge film repertoire. So, you know, when they signed Spielberg to do the first one, like he didn't really have a huge career behind him. So they're like, maybe we could get this again. Maybe we can do this once again, you know, get somebody who is not, you know, somebody who doesn't have that experience.
So
4 episodes that's the most he's ever done in one go.
Right?
Well, he did a bunch of Kojak.
Kojak. He did 13 episodes.
Jaws 2 was
he directed episodes of what?
Kojak.
Oh, Kojak. I thought you said Bojack. I was like, Bojack Horseman? What?
No, he
wild.
Jaws 2 was his first major motion picture. He did TV movies, but Jaws 2 was his first one. No, wait, no, I take that back. Whoa. Bring it in.
What is that?
Bring it in. Hold on.
Bug?
He did a killer bug movie. An earthquake releases a strain of mutant cockroaches with the ability to start fires. Oh my God. It came out the same year as the original Jaws. This is Paramount.
That's fantastic.
Okay, sorry to deviate. Nothing good.
This was some lines in this film. Just to show this, some of the lines in this film, some of the things that were done in this film make me question this guy, like how certain things made it in. Like, so the scene when the girl is like, "Oh, you want to meet my cousin?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then it shows Larry Jr. and his buddy there, and he's like, "Hey, what about her?" And he just looks at her and goes, "She has tits like a sparrow." How does that make it into the film?
Maybe it was a 70s thing.
Actually, there's a trivia about it. It says that the actor who played Larry Jr. improvised that line. It wasn't in the script. And he later had to apologize to the actress because she found out about it. And he later was like, "Yeah, I wish I just never said it."
So they should have just stripped improv rights.
Exactly.
Everyone,
especially from the kids. Caleb, welcome in, man. Doing great, man. Thanks for joining. All right. And then, well, we'll get to it when we start because that's this part is in the beginning of the film.
I have trivia for the cast once you get done with the cast, by the way.
Oh, go ahead.
I had to look this up because I had my big brain hat on at the time. So the character that played Doug, because that stands out so much. God, I want to say he had curly hair, but like half the cast had curly hair.
No, I know who you're talking. I know who you're talking about. It was Michael's best friend. It was
not him. Not the heavyset bro.
He was the dude that wore the hat with the really big glasses.
Yeah, he had a big nose. Not the dude that ends up dating. Not the dude that ends up with the girl that asked Michael his cousin, but the other guy who was kind of fought with Michael. Not Michael. Larry toward the end of the movie when they're at the by the end during the climax. He actually went on. He looked really familiar. I couldn't put my finger on. He actually ended up playing the lead role in the film adaptation of Stephen King's Christine.
Really?
He was Arnie. Yeah, he was Arnie. Yeah, in the first one. And that one, I mean, yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in ages.
I knew he looked familiar, but anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean that's. I mean, I could literally just go through this entire trivia section here of IMDb, but I feel like that's just a lame attempt at a podcast. I did have something I was gonna say. I don't remember.
Good job there.
Yep, that's what I'm here for.
God damn it, Dan.
Just bring it down from the inside.
Oh, I do remember what I was going to say. So a lot of practical shark footage was used in this film. A lot more than in Jaws 1. And I feel every time they used it, it was really good. Like it was really well done. It wasn't like out of place. Like they didn't show like a full shark. It would always be like the underbelly of it or the backside, like the tail, of it swimming away. It never actually showed the whole body. But boy, this is what Jaws 1 would have been like if the shark worked the whole time. This is the film that Jaws 1 would have been.
So we're glad it didn't work all the time, right?
Yes, because Jaws is the superior film.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I have to say is about the shark, about Bruce, which we've decided to name Bruce the Deuce because it's the second one.
Bruce too. Yeah.
Bruce the Deuce. Anyway, well, we're trying to think of a clever name for the third one, but that's later. Anyway, I noticed. Do you remember those little rubber finger puppet things that you used to have when you were kids, and they were like they had the little mouths on them, like the little rubber dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Like I've seen this one part where Jaws, like Bruce, just like comes up in the side of the boat and like half his mouth kind of like implodes on itself. I was like, oh, Bruce!
It like pushes in.
Yes, I was like, oh. That was the only part. I was like,
yes. Oh man, it's so good. Oh,
the part toward the end where half his mouth is missing, like between his gills and his mouth, you see like this chunk.
And
my head sits on fire. Yeah,
I had to explain to my children at one point in the film. Well, no, I'll talk about when we get there. We'll talk about when we get there. No, I won't say.
All right. Well, I say if we don't have any more trivia or anything to, I mean, I'm gonna look through this as we go, but. Let's get started. Actually, one more thing. They did end up filming this in Martha's Vineyard again. So,
well, I noticed that it looked like it was all like the same locales. Like at least on land, it looked exactly the same.
Yeah, that was great. I loved it.
It wasn't like this is a part of Amity you've never seen, except it was an entirely different location.
So, all right, here we go. We are going to start the plot of Jaws 2. So the film opens with the ominous, just kind of like Jaws 1, the ominous look of the first person shark view, with John Williams' score in the background. But then it cuts to some divers taking some pictures. They find what we see is the orca from the first film, as the diver swims up and it says orca on the side. But I mean, if you've seen the first film, you know this is the orca. So they are taking pictures of it, flexing on it.
Like, look how stout I am on this boat rack.
And then they turn around, and within 45 seconds, you see the shark.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You don't see the shark for an hour in 20 minutes of the first film. You see it in 45 seconds. Shark attacks the divers. And the guy who's holding the camera drops it, and it continues to flash as it's falling, and then it hits the bottom and it flashes. I liked that cool. No, it's not. But it was a cool feature. It was a cool.
Hey, It did that in Kong Skull Island.
Yeah, it is in the mouth. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So yeah, you get the shark attacking the divers. The camera falls, takes pictures, and then I believe that's when you get the title screen. This is Jaws 2. Then we meet up with Chief Martin Brody, who is in a big rush to get to some event because he's all dressed up. He's got a shirt and tie. He's probably got a jacket. He's going really fast. There's not a lot of people on this island, but he's running into some crazy traffic. Dumb.
Yeah.
This is wild. I feel like everybody who lives on this island is at this party. So where's the traffic coming from?
They have to be, right?
Yeah. So he's rushing to this. So was this a hotel grand opening event?
It's a Holiday Inn.
Yeah, they had Holiday Inn cups.
Yeah, it said Holiday Inn and it said grand opening, right?
I'm pretty sure,
on the banner. Yeah. And then that's when we meet the most unlucky girl in this entire film, Tina. Miss Amity. This girl is in every terrible situation. She witnesses terrible things all the time. This woman will never recover. But yeah, she is missing
for every movie. Every movie. She was probably on the beach in the first movie. We didn't even know about it.
She's probably the girl in Jaws 3. She hooks up with Michael.
Probably.
Listen, chat, I will spoil Jaws 3 as much as I remember because that movie's terrible and you guys probably won't want to watch it. You'll just want to hear
I'm pretty sure she's the hand grenade. She's the hand grenade.
Oh my Lord. And then we see the mayor. He's giving his speech. God, I can't stand him. I love Murray Hamilton. He was a great actor. He is so good at being just a conniving dick.
Oh God, he is.
I don't care what happened 3 years ago. It's all out the window now. We're going to go back to being the same old guy.
It's like Brody, the sheriff, like his deputy and his wife are the only ones that remember what happened 3 years ago.
100%. And then we meet the annoying couple, which is Len and his wife. Len. What a piece of crap. And he does the weird thing where he flirts with Ellen in front of Martin. He's like, "Hey, dear, why don't you go make sure?" It's like, God, that's weird. But I love it where he's like, "I don't know what I'd do without her," and Martin's like, "Yeah. Me too."
Yeah.
Oh man.
Martin.
Yeah. Then we meet. Well, actually, then we get a cool scene where they're outside dancing, and then man, the Brodies are frisky. They're like, "You want to go home and fool around?"
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go. Exactly. All right, grab Sean. Let's get out of here. Love it. So good. Then we meet Michael and his
kid, right?
No, they just have Michael.
No, but we need a third one. So let's go. They go home and fool around.
Oh, right. No. Unfortunately, there's only 2 children for the duration of these films, but they're always prominent.
We're going to find about in the 5th one. There's going to be one that was disowned, or like she had it, or like Brody, Chief Brody had like an affair with some woman. There's the 5th one.
No, it's Ellen had an affair with Hooper, like in the book. And this is what actually happens, It actually happened in Jaws, but you never saw it, and they never made light. Never came to light. Okay, so then we meet. I think it's the next day we meet Michael and his friends. I think they're out sailing, right?
Yeah. I think so.
And just sailing around, and we meet his buddy. Who is his his best friend? What was his name?
Stereotypical hungry, borderline overweight kid from these kinds of films. I have no idea.
I don't remember what his name was, but I liked him. But I don't
know. Maybe
he was an interesting fellow. So yeah, we meet Michael and his friends. They're out there having a good time. I believe is this where they're showing them doing like the parasailing off the boat?
Yeah.
No. Okay, I was just saying, she has a note in here that says "boat in water." I'm like, dear, how many boats are in water in this movie?
I figured I could remember.
I don't remember. I don't remember. That's all I'm like, what? But yeah, parasailing.
Yeah, so doing like the cool thing, and then you got the music. It looks like the shark's gonna get him.
Yeah,
but then he comes popping out. Then we're back with Brody. He's going down to the dock to meet up with Hendrix, who is just a dick to this old guy. just
Yeah, I know,
completely
right?
like a dude. He's literally sitting there on the boat, just like lounging about, like, yo, untie that, tie that, clean that. And this old man's like, man, I'm about to kick you off the side.
At least Hendrix does something in this movie. Like, he doesn't do anything in the first movie. You see him in like
No.
5 or 6 shots. At least he's
No.
like more of a character in this.
Yeah. Well, it's
For what
funny
it's
because
worth.
when he's around Brody, he's very like scared. Like he's always afraid. He's always afraid of what Brody's gonna think of him. But then like he's around this old guy and he's just a complete asshole.
So maybe that's the thing. Like he's got like this. He's got like this like inferiority complex when it comes to like Brody. Like Brody's gonna like beat him or disown him, but he likes to like have power over other people or something. Even though Brody doesn't do that to people. Like, I don't know.
No. Oh man. And so they find out about a boat that is in the channel. There's an abandoned yacht, pretty much, or a schooner, or whatever the heck kind of boat it's called. I'm not too familiar with boat names. So
Quit playing with your dinghy. That's what it is.
Yeah. But there's an abandoned boat in the channel. So he tells Hendrix to go out there and to bring the old man of the sea with him, which is literally what he says. And then we meet the nerdy guys who have just no confidence in the world. Like these guys, like when you see him at the party for the grand opening of this hotel, and the he's like, "Who are you gonna ask? Who are you gonna ask to dance?" Oh no, the guy kid comes up. He's like, "Do you dance?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Who are you gonna ask to dance?" And he's talking about Tina, who's literally dancing with her boyfriend. Like, man, it's great. Love these guys.
Good time. GG. Character building right there.
Yeah, 100%. And we meet Larry Jr., who is a dick just like his dad. At least in most of this movie, he is a dick. And he's got a really strong accent. Did you pick that up?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Like he had a New York, it was like a New Yorker accent. Like he was a New Yorker, or maybe, I don't know. He had a very strong accent. I was like, his dad? Not so much. So did you pick up that the license plate on Brody's car says Massachusetts?
No.
When he's on the barge heading to the Holiday Inn, it kind of shows a zoom. It kind of like the camera goes up from the ground all the way up to like the window where he's in. Yeah. And it shows the license plate and it says Massachusetts. So I don't know if the truck had a Massachusetts license plate because that's where the film was, like that's where it was filmed, or if Amity is technically in Massachusetts. I don't know. I've really never looked too much into it, but I thought
that's
that was
a good question.
That was an interesting pickup there.
I moved my foot.
Scared the crap out of me. Stop touching.
Sorry. That's on video. Her beating me. I was going to let you know that.
That gave me a heart attack.
I gotta delete the VOD.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
I gotta delete it. So we go back to all the kids sailing around, and one of the coolest things ever is them sailing around having a water balloon fight.
That was cool. I like that. That'd be fun.
Oh my
Why
goodness.
not?
No, it would be really fun, but it would also be terrifying. Like some kid just like steers wrong and just collides. You guys just collide.
Like the mass
like later.
springs into somebody.
I mean, we'll see that later when literally every single boat crashes into each other.
Turn.
They want to bring a little bit of the big city into the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to mention one of the other things that should have never been in this film, but it was. So I'm guessing these kids are in high school, right? All of these kids?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm assuming.
So in the scene when they are at the Holiday Inn party, and the mayor introduces Miss Amity and Martin whistles at her.
Yeah.
Like this man's like in his 40s and this girl's like 17. It was just weird.
Oh yeah.
It was just weird.
It was. I agree. I almost seemed like he was just doing that to get a rise out of his wife to see if she would do, but I agree. That's still like,
it was still like,
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Probably could have just not put that in there. But I just remember seeing it today. I was like, I don't remember that, but ooh, that is just that is not good. But it was the 70s.
Yeah.
And then after we see the scene where the water balloon fight's happening and all that, we go back to the police station where, man, people are complaining about the dumbest shit ever.
Keep that trope alive.
Literally, one guy, the first guy he talks to is a guy who's complaining that his neighbor is playing his radio too loud. Like
Yeah,
he's got
he's
the
saying,
radio.
like,
Oh no, it was
yeah.
a CB radio, and he's like
Yeah.
keeps like saying Roger
over. Yeah, Roger,
yeah.
It's all right.
And then then it was like an older guy who was talking about how there's a girl across from their house, like teasing his son.
Yeah, like by dancing.
It's like dancing with a towel on.
Yeah.
I was like, is this something people actually would like go to the police station to complain about? But
Small island town troubles, I guess.
I mean, I've seen some people complain about some crazy things in my life. So I'm not that surprised, but it was just funny. There was a lot of really ridiculous complaints, and Polly made it. Well, she didn't really make an appearance, but she was mentioned by name. His secretary, and you could hear her. She says like 2 words, but I don't even know if they just had was it ADR?
Yeah,
where it's just her voice.
Yeah,
like it wasn't actually an actress. Yeah. So yeah, the shark is stalking the kids as they're doing their cool little sailing thing, like they're which is really cool. How does that work? Did they have like a rope like tethered over the top of the sail and they were just kind of pulling him up and down? Or like to get the sail to catch air? I was so confused when I was watching that. I'm like, that looks like fun, but how does that even work? That was wild.
Magic, dude.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, magic.
Mm-hmm.
So then we meet back up with Miss Amity, aka Tina, aka Miss Amity, making out with her boyfriend Eddie.
Sucking face.
Oh yeah, they were going to town. And she gets excited. She hears the boat. There's a person water skiing. She gets really excited. She wants to go get her dad's boat and go water skiing. And Eddie's like, "Ask me next week." It's always next week with you, Eddie.
Yeah.
Why are you like this, Eddie?
Like, Eddie, you live on an island. Like, people want to spend time in the water. All right. I mean, come on. So, but then we see the water skier which her name is Terry, which if you didn't pick that up, I don't know what the woman's name was in the boat, but the water skier's name was Terry.
Yeah.
Very unimportant. Unimportant information nobody cares about. So yeah, they're both having a good time. I'm very confused how it took her so long to realize that she wasn't on the end. Like you gotta I feel like if you're driving, or like maybe you should continuously look back. Like she literally drove for like a minute and then was like, oh shit.
She's just like,
oh shit.
Just driving along.
I mean, listen, there's times where you just fall off. I mean, I've been tubing before. I've never been water skiing, but like you fall off. But like, usually it's only a few seconds before the guy driving the boat's like, oh shit, they fell off.
Yeah, let's turn around.
Yeah. So casually.
Yeah, exactly.
So the shark stalks Terry and is really fast. Like this this is for the size that this shark is, he is fast as hell. Yeah. I don't know how fast they were going, but I don't think a shark that size is swimming that fast. It's just not happening. This is like a 20
maximum overdrive.
Yeah, it's like a 25-foot shark. It's not swimming that fast. Like that's like wow. It attacks her, bites off the end of the water ski. She falls off, and then the shark pulls her under. Oh, did you notice that in the beginning when the divers get attacked by the shark, the screams are the exact same scream that is used when Dreyfus gets attacked by the shark in the first film?
No, I had no idea.
Like that underwater, like gargly scream as they're getting attacked. It literally, I listened to it. I was like, that's the same exact scream.
I didn't notice that, but I did notice that I may have missed it. You guys mentioned it earlier, and I wasn't paying attention. That while it has the same rating, the violence was ridiculously toned back in this film compared to the first one. It's like way toned back.
Yeah,
just the content in general, like everything, like exploitive quote unquote content was just toned back. I guess to make it more appealing for a general audience, but yeah.
Well, it was rated PG.
PG. Well, I mean the system was different back then.
Yeah, there was no PG-13 in 1978.
Yeah,
I don't think it was until Indiana Jones. It was either the first or second Indiana Jones when PG-13 became a thing.
Yeah, wasn't it just G, PG, and R? Wasn't it the only three?
It was R, PG, and G.
Yes, okay, that's what it was. All right.
But I think it was Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom that made PG-13 a thing, because there's a scene where a guy gets his heart ripped out. And they're like, when they were editing the film, and you have to, like, a director has to submit the film to be rated. And they're like, oh, this is going to have to be an R. Well, like, we're going to have to put R on this. And they're like, R? We
Why?
can't. We want kids to see this. That's a weird thing to say, Steven, but okay. And so
I have.
And so I guess he worked with is it the oh god, I can't remember what the heck they're called. The rating service there, and
MPAA.
MPAA. And that's when they came out with PG-13, which is pretty interesting. Steven Spielberg just revolutionizing cinema.
That's right. First it's sharks, and then it's a rating system.
Yep.
And you can, hey, by the way, one of the films you can blame for that, speaking of the MPAA, one of the films you can blame for the existence of the MPAA is the original Night of the Living Dead. Just throwing it out there.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
They're coming to get you, Barbara. Stop it, Johnny.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but have you guys seen Army of the Dead?
Not
on
yet,
Netflix?
No. We don't watch anything. We're boring as hell.
Yeah, I don't believe you at all.
No, you should. But why? Why do you ask? I'm curious.
Oh no, because we were talking about Night of the Living Dead, and so I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Is it good?
I have no idea. I haven't seen it. I just was wondering if you guys have seen it. I'm gonna see it soon. I just thought I threw it in there.
Right.
So yeah, so the shark attacks and eats Terry, and then the driver of the boat turns because she realizes Terry's not back there. She calls out her name a few times, and then she finds a ski with that's pretty much bitten in half. And you're like, Terry.
She's surprisingly calm for finding half a ski.
Yeah, and really? She's not like yelling like in a concerned tone. I'll be like, Terry, where are you? No, she's just like, Terry? Okay. And then the shark just comes busting through this boat.
Yep. It's going, bam!
And the dramatics of this entire scene, this scene was so dramatic. It was unbelievable. Just the entirety. Like this woman is just, I feel like there could have been, like, how far was she out? I want to know how far she was out.
She didn't look, because that one lady could see her from her house, right? Could see the whole thing. So what do you, like 100 feet, maybe 50, 100 feet, something like that.
Like, does she attempt to jump in and try to swim to shore? Maybe. I mean, the shark is going like 50 miles an hour.
Oh, absolutely. Was that did someone just break the sound barrier?
What was that? Is that a torpedo? No. But Terry's screaming. Like I said, this movie has a lot of screaming. It's unbelievable. Like, I understand you're being attacked by a shark. It's screaming is going to happen. But wow, the screaming. And
extremely calm to like throwing things.
Yeah, and then the shark sets fire to the boat.
Well, she does, because like that. I missed this part, but I know apparently she spills gas or something.
Oh yeah, she had like a can of gas, right?
And she like pours it on herself attempting to pour it on the shark.
No,
and then she shoots a flare gun and
that's a wise choice. Oh shit, I just had gasoline poured on me. What do I whip out? A flare gun. All right.
I mean, what else?
Right. So she shoots the flare gun. It blows up the boat. It destroys half of the shark's face.
It's brilliant. I think it's great. This is the scene I was talking about to explain to my kids, like, why is the shark on fire? I'm like, well, kids, let me explain to you about the weight difference between petroleum products and water. My 5-year-old.
Oh man. So half the shark's face is all burnt up, which is I liked it. I thought it was a cool thing, and it kind of it stays consistent through the film.
Whole movie.
And Tina and Eddie see the boat blow up because they've and this is just the start for Tina. Tina is about to see so much more.
Tina.
Oh, if only she knew what she was getting herself into for this film. All she did was cut a ribbon.
Yeah.
That's what started it.
Yep. This was her fault. None of this would have happened if she wouldn't have cut that darn ribbon.
How dare you? So they hear about Brody and Hendrix hear about the boat blowing up. So Brody goes out to talk to people who saw it happen, which is Tina, Eddie, and then this always this generic old lady. There's always this old lady in these films.
What is that?
I saw it all happen. It was right there.
She's got a cash credit, right?
Just old lady.
Just old lady. Susan French.
Is that what she is in the film?
Yes.
Fantastic. So and then he tells Hendrix to go out and to fish. Oh no, as he's talking to them, he's radioing Hendrix about you got to stay out there as long as you have to try to retrieve everything from this boat. And they get something really heavy and they're pulling it up and they find out it's a power core. It's a power line that feeds the power to the island, which is wild. That all the power comes from an island?
It's this undersea cables. Whoop!
Wild. Which will literally show up later in this film. And then we go to the next day where all the kids are on an island. We call this the Lighthouse Island. I don't know if this actually has a name.
I don't remember they mentioned another island or something at some point, and he's like, "What?" And I was like,
it was Cable Junction is one of them.
Yeah, Cable
which
Junction.
is where the end of the film takes place. But they're on the island with the lighthouse because they always mention the lighthouse. Oh God, I see that.
I said it's about the movie. It's important. It's about the movie. I thought of this the entire time. Right.
I'm always afraid to click over from when I have you guys up on Discord.
No, you have to see it. It's rough.
What?
I thought of that every time Bruce did something. I was like, yes.
Oh, so good. Rudy, what's going on, man? Welcome in.
Sorry, I know it's distracting from the movie, but I was like, I have to send this picture to Parker during this podcast.
Yes, great town planning. So good. This town Amity is run by geniuses.
I'm gonna look that up after we're done to see if that's a normal thing. Is there undersea electrical cables?
I believe so. I'm guessing for a lot of island towns.
I mean, it would
there's got to be
some
sort of
probably one of the safest ways to do it because you can't really run lines over because then you have to worry about boats having enough clearance.
Yeah,
you can't put them on top of the water.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess that would make sense.
Yep. So yeah, they are on the Lighthouse Island, and Tina and Eddie are running around. Cute little teenagers running around, chasing each other. And everybody else is kind of just lounging on the beach. And Tina and Eddie again finding something just not cool as a giant orca is dead on the beach with a giant bite mark out of the side of it, which is ironic because orcas are well known to kill great whites, and so it's just kind of a cool reversal of because I don't think there's it's very rare that there's any reports of great whites attacking orcas because orcas are monsters. Monsters meaning they're huge.
That's our second dead orca for the movie too. I just want to point that out.
Oh, the boat.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's true.
Too. I was like,
and Martin knows 100% it's a shark before even talking to the very snooty marine biologist lady.
She was up her own butt, dude.
Yeah. And she's just like, how do you know it's a shark? He's like, because I shot a 25-footer 3 years ago. That literally terrorized this town. I was there, you crazy lady. But at the end, she pretty much determined it was a shark. She was like, yeah, the bite marks make sense and all that. But she was very confused because she was like, yeah, usually orcas do this to white sharks. It's not the other way around. He's like, well, the white sharks around here, they're not normal.
Yeah.
But I did write a quote down that she tells Brody because she's talking about, because he asks if you were to kill a shark, would others come? Would others come pretty much? Would they come to that whatever, the traumatic experience. And she's like, sharks don't take things personally, Mr. Brody. Which it literally is the whole basis of this franchise is sharks take shit personally. Listen, not in real life, chat. Sharks don't do this in real life. But in these films, yes, they take things personally.
They're actually jealous that it don't have thumbs like we do. And I point that out a lot, and they're very offended by that fact.
Exactly. But I thought it was a good quote that they kind of threw in there, even though it contradicts everything that these films show you. The mayor's still an idiot. Pretty much Martin's like, listen, it's a shark. There's a whale with gigantic bite marks out of it. And he's like, yeah, the lady, I can't remember her name, but the lady and her bosses pretty much told us it's nothing to worry about. Okay.
And everything else is a boating accident.
Yes. Always throws in the boating accident. Where's the coroner? Where's the coroner from Jaws? Coming in like boating accident. Yeah, we all know how that went the first time, idiot. Oh man.
That ended very well.
So he has a not so good interaction with the mayor. He drives off. He drives down to the beach where the boat blew up, and he stops and he sees something floating in the water. And this is where you see that Martin, even though he literally floated on a boat that was sinking and shot a shark from like 100 yards away, is still terrified to go into the water. Like this man's fear. But he eventually goes in. I love how he's like waving. He's like, come on, get over here. Come here, piece of wood. Yeah. Come here. Yeah. And then he takes off his shoes and socks and wanders in. But then, with what's about to happen, I'd be the same. I'd be like, yep, I'm not going back in there. He literally goes, grabs the piece of the boat, flips it, and that's when you get the burnt up body of the smart lady on the boat. Yep. And he's just like, hell no. Well, actually, it flips over on top of him and he goes under the water, which is even more terrifying.
Probably the most violent, I guess, graphic bit of this movie. Even though she's like just really a charred body for the most part. But
it was still pretty like gruesome.
Oh, no, it did well. It portrayed the part very well.
I mean, nothing beats Chrissy in a tote, just
put her on,
toes on the table. Oh, man. And then we see Brody. The next scene is literally Brody at his desk putting, what the hell is it called? Sodium cyanide, dripping sodium cyanide on all of the tips of his bullets, and then proceeding to put wax over them. What the hell?
Dude, like, I was sitting there looking at this, and I was like, this is not how any of this works. Like, I was like, 'cause I don't remember this scene until I watched, like, I hadn't seen Jaws 2 in forever either, like a really long time. And I see him dripping it in there, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, this isn't, unless it hardens at room temperature, it's not going to stay. And he does the wax. I'm like, dude, the wax is just going to displace the toxin when it goes in there. I just, whatever. I get it. I get what they're trying to do.
And then Hendrix walks in and he hides it all. Or he hears Hendrix, and man, Chief Brody's shredded, man. He looking good for a man his age. I don't know how old he was in this film, but I was like, damn, I wish I had that body. Looking good. Looking good, Chief Brody. Looking good.
We just get cursed with dad bods. That's all we got.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am a lazy piece of shit, so that's usually what happens when it gets that. But this is when
you have nothing to say. You can eat whatever you want.
I like sandwiches. But I like sandwiches. I don't eat whatever I want. Don't look at me. I'm not saying nothing.
Man.
I'm the one that gains weight when he eats.
Stop buying all the ice cream.
Oh, I'm just waiting because every time my wife gets pregnant, I gain weight. And now she's pregnant. I'm like, man, I really don't need to be gaining weight because I'm at a weight where I'm like, I'm good here. If I go any farther, then I'm scared. Then I need to do something. Exactly.
No!
Oh man. So Hendrix comes in. Brody hides his things. Hendrix is just staring at his desk. I'll be like, bro, hey, bro, can you like back the fuck up? Like, get the hell out of here. Like, what are you doing?
Working on something.
Then he goes home. But this is where you start seeing Brody become unhinged because no one believes him. Like he's just becoming crazy. Yeah. because he doesn't know about before. He goes home because he's late for dinner. He comes home and Ellen is on the phone. You know who she's on the phone with? Hooper. She was on the phone with Hooper. Yeah. She was on the phone with Hooper, and it was because Brody, and then Brody says, yeah, I called him because he was calling him about the whale and all that. But that's the only reference. It's the only thing you get with any reference to Hooper. So trivia was Steven Spielberg and Richard Dreyfuss were approached to direct and star in the sequel, but production on Close Encounters of the Third Kind was running behind, and they declined to participate. So I guess that's the legitimate reason why both those guys didn't return, which is kind of sad. I would have loved to have Richard Dreyfuss back.
Oh yeah, I think it would have helped out a lot. Yeah,
I mean, I enjoy it. Like I said, I don't think this film is bad. It's just not great. Yo, Tim!
Lurk.
15 months. Let's go.
Yep.
Knew it.
Thank you so much for that 15-month resub there, Tim. Thanks for the lurk, man. But yeah, if Hooper was in this film, would have made it so much better.
Oh, it would have.
Then we get a montage shot of beachgoers. Just
random.
45 seconds. And then they had to show like close-ups of like girls' asses as they're walking towards the beach. I'm like, why is this a thing?
Does he pad the movie out?
Yes, 100%. This movie was almost 2 hours long. This movie could have been an hour and a half.
Oh, easy.
But they were like, Jaws was like I think Jaws 1 was like a little over 2 hours.
But it was brilliant.
Yes. It wasn't padded. Like there was so like 45 minutes or 45 seconds to a minute of just people at the beach. Okay. Oh man. And then Martin is in the watchtower or the shark tower. The mayor sees him up there. Oh no, the mayor sees Michael is working. And he's like, yeah, what are you doing? See you're working. Is your dad where's your dad at? And he's like, oh, he's up there. And then the mayor's like, oh, God damn it. What is he doing up there? And then he goes over to Len and tells him, and Len's like, turns into big bad guy. This is the guy who plays Lenny I think would be a really good bad guy. Like, I don't think would consider him a bad guy in this film. He's just a dick politician businessman guy. Like he's just, yeah, he did a good job at that. But, so they're pissed off because Martin's up there. He's making people question it. Like the girl that comes up is like, "What's the guy doing up there?" Oh, he's just making sure everything's okay. He's like, "Oh, I've heard those are shark towers to watch for sharks." I was like, "Why did you ask the question, little girl? Get out of here!
Why?
Get out of here!" Oh man, and Martin gets paranoid. He sees a dark shadow, and man, from the size of that shadow. That would have been like a 45-foot shark. It's like a megalodon coming into shore. And Martin's like, oh my God. He books it down or he starts screaming. This is where I was like, I applauded Roy Scheider's performance in this film.
Oh,
because he is so into this. He is screaming for people to get out of the water. He's freaking hustling down the ladder. He's running over. He's like screaming at people to go. And then he just starts blind firing into the water. Like just starts shooting at this shadow, which then a guy's just like, it's bluefish. It's just bluefish. Yeah. And see, in reality, he gets fired later on in the film. Not far off into the film, but it would have been like an immediate, like, you're fired. Like right there and then. 100%. Yeah. You just start shooting up a beach. Uh-oh.
I'm like, here you go. Yeah.
Oh man. But
great scene though. It was good epitome of like kind of how he was going. Like you said, it was like it wasn't handled as well as the first film, but like it's literally happening to his character again. He's like, why do people not understand? We did this before. Why?
Right.
Why am I the only one that remembers this?
Yeah.
It's the alternate reality.
Yeah.
So earlier, when Martin was doing the things with his bullets, he tells Hendricks to go get the camera that they found with the divers or under the diver boat to go get it developed. And he gets a call from the guy who develops them to go check it out. And, there's a picture of the orca. And then there's another one that when he develops it, it shows, you can clearly see it's a shark's eye. and you can slightly see the shark's mouth. And so Martin is determined to go show the mayor and the board that we got another shark. And boy, is it just a repeat of Jaws 1. You got the
100%.
evidence. You got the oh my god, when they're passing around. So he busts into the town hall. They're having a meeting, and they're like, Martin, this is an important meeting. I'm like, I'm the chief of police. Shouldn't I be involved in these important meetings?
Like, you got a point.
Like, why am I not here? You got hotel lady over here who's just obnoxious.
Yeah.
Why is she here? Who cares? So
the Holiday Inn's going to put her out of business anyway.
Exactly. Unless she's running the Holiday Inn. I don't know.
That's true. She could be.
So he shows everybody the picture, and everybody's just Oh, and Harry's there. The bad hat Harry guy.
Yeah,
he's the old guy. Yeah. Man, they got so many people back for this film. I feel like a lot of these people were like, yeah, Spielberg's back. And they're like, yeah, we're excited. And they're like, never mind. And they're like, well, we already can't go anywhere. You signed a contract.
Just give me one scene. That's all I need.
Yeah. But yeah, they pass around the picture and everyone's like, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. You're like, what do you mean?
Seaweed. Like,
yeah.
Like, you live in an ocean town. You should know what a shark looks like. All right. I'm sorry.
It was one of those things where they just didn't want to admit what's in the picture. They knew what they were seeing. And then my next note is Michael is just not a very good actor. The kid who plays Michael is just not a good actor.
Was this the bar scene?
Yes.
Like they're in the bar.
Yes.
Restaurant.
It's like a teenager bar where they don't serve alcohol. It's just soda and pool and shit.
This is the only place the dump delivers to.
God,
so
damn.
bad.
So bad. Oh man. So the next thing we see is Martin staggering home. He drove home for once. He's drunk, so he just broke the law by drunk driving home. And clearly Hendrix sees that he's drunk. And you know, would you have done anything in that situation if you're Hendrix? Like Martin just got drunk, drove home.
Yeah,
probably. Now the new chief of police.
But like he's too much to. He's like kind of, I don't know, too much of a coward to say anything or do anything.
Oh yeah, 100%. He like suggests things to Brody, and Brody's just like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
No one listens to Hendrix. But Hendrix is already at the Brody residence to tell Ellen that Martin got fired. But Martin is all like trying to see the positive things. He's really drunk. He's like,
yeah, very.
Yeah. Pretty much pours a glass for everybody, and then he talks to Ellen about how he's never been fired before.
Yeah, except for when he's like a kid.
He was 17 or something like that. So Michael gets grounded, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why he sneaks off to go sailing, because he gets grounded, but then he's also made to work because he was painting the shack on the beach. But he sneaks out, and Sean pretty much tells him, I'm going, and if you don't bring me, I'm going to tell mom and dad. He does the thing where he's like, Michael.
Pretty much, yes.
But Sean is way better than Michael. I enjoyed this actor way more than Michael. He's just, oh man, so just blah. So everybody's going sailing. So they all sail by, we're all on the dock, and this is where we meet. I can't remember what the girl's name is, but it's like, do you want to meet my cousin?
Yeah, it's her.
This is where we meet. What's her name? What's the girl's name?
Jackie.
Right?
Her Jackie, yeah.
AKA the screaming girl.
This girl. Screamer.
Yikes.
She's got some lungs on her.
Yeah. Wow. So we meet her, and she starts hanging out with Larry Jr. first, but then eventually makes it over to Michael. Or did she hang out with Michael and then, like, who gives a crap?
Well, at one point they meet earlier or whatever, and then they're hanging out with him, and then they go hang out with Larry, and then they go hang back with Michael again. I don't know. They're all over the damn place.
Yeah.
These kids can't make up the, because you were bitching about
much.
Who likes too.
Because, okay, so Michael is with the curly-headed girl.
No, he's not.
Before, but not with her.
Oh,
but
okay. But he was like with hanging out
friends or something. Yeah.
Yeah, like you think that they're trying to get together, and then she's like, no, I'm gonna go with this.
Foghorn shows up.
So
I'm gonna go with
the only legit relationships I noticed in this movie was Tina and Eddie.
Yeah.
And the girl who was praying towards the end.
Yeah.
Like, and the guy, I don't even know what the guy's name was.
Yeah.
But he had a red shirt on and the shark like grazes her and he has to rescue her. I can't remember his name, but those are the only two like legit relationships. Everybody else was kind of like an orgy going on or something.
Pretty much.
It was weird. So they all set off. They're gonna head towards the lighthouse.
Yep.
And they pass by a lobster boat or a dive boat, but they're gonna go diving for lobster because the guy's like, hey, give me a lobster. He's like, you're supposed to be in class, and he's like, just give me a lobster, weirdo. And then the girl,
a bunch of mooks.
And then the girl's like, make sure there's butter with it or something like that. I don't know, some stupid line that they had to keep just feeding these kids. So they go down, they're going lobster fishing, or I don't even know how I think they were just catching them by hand.
Yeah, they're just palming them, dude.
Yeah, just straight up going to a lobster and just picking it up.
Yeah.
And then so this guy doesn't get attacked by the shark. The shark doesn't ever actually attack him. The guy gets scared and just rushes up to the surface really fast, which can cause air bubbles to go to the brain, and it fucks you.
The bends.
It's bad. We go, and then so they bring the guy in the boat. They're gonna bring him to shore, and then it cuts to we're back with Tina and Eddie because these guys they can't escape the tragedies. All right, my note is literally Tina and boyfriend need to stay away from the water.
Yes.
Yep.
The shark.
What was the name of her boat? Tina's
Joy.
That's right.
Yes.
Was it her boat or was it his boat?
I thought it was her dad's boat. Was it not?
Okay, maybe you're right.
That's a tiny boat.
But they were talking about going water skiing, and you can't go water skiing on a sailboat.
No.
It's weird. So the funniest thing is the whole conversation between these guys because they're about to get it on. And she's like, get a blanket because I've been getting bruises on my butt and my mom keeps questioning it. Like, why is your mom staring at your ass?
I thought the same thing. Like,
what is this kind of relationship? You're 17 years old. What is this?
This action is either going on a very hard and uncomfortable surface. Some people are into some real freaky stuff. And the mom is just way too personal about all of it.
I think option 2 is it because why? How would she know? That literally was the line of her going, I keep getting bruises on my butt and my mom keeps questioning it. I'm like, what? So Eddie goes to look for a blanket and then he's trying to just bypass it because there's no blanket. He's just like, are you sure you need a blanket? You sure? And then the shark attacks the boat.
No, he's like, I got your blanket. And then Bruce is like, wait a minute, it's too warm for a blanket. And he hits the boat because he doesn't have hands and can't tell people to stop.
And Eddie flies off the boat and the shark pushes the boat a good 100 yards. It's a good distance away. And then the shark proceeds to swim another 100 yards and then turns around. And it's just a race to see who can make it back to the boat faster, the shark or Eddie. And Eddie is just flopping like a fish. It's like he doesn't know.
Eddie?
It's like he didn't know how to swim.
Yeah.
And she's just like, swim faster, Eddie, swim faster. And the shark is literally already under the boat. And I don't think Eddie's gone 5 feet. He's
went in the opposite direction.
Right.
She's like, why didn't you take swimming class? I never knew I'd actually be in the water. What are the odds?
I mean, this scene, I actually liked this scene, this attack, because it wasn't just the shark pulling him under. It was the shark pulling him under, but then he pops up trying to prop himself up on the boat, but he's already pretty much dead. But he's bleeding from the mouth and he's trying to pick himself back up, and then the shark pulls him back under it.
Well, don't forget, Bruce also tries to because Bruce seen he was struggling. He was trying to take him to the boat. He grabs him and he actually pulls him toward the boat. He's just, dude, listen, if you watch this whole movie with the mindset that Bruce is just trying to help because he doesn't have hands, he can't like, whoa, hold on, guys, he's got to use his teeth. This whole thing is a misunderstanding. The whole movie is a misunderstanding. Literally think about, we were watching this like, this is all he's trying to do is help people out.
This a couple of times.
Oh, man.
He just doesn't know his own strength, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Bruce is the real victim here.
Yeah. So Eddie's dead, and then it shows Tina just like muttering, like, "Go away, go away."
Yeah.
Something like that, or like calling for her mommy. It was kind of like surreal. It was like one of those moments where you're like, "Oh shit," that's probably like what legitimately your thought process is. Just kind of you're all over the place.
Well, it's probably one of the best death scenes in the movie.
Yeah,
I would say,
I
like
would
just
agree.
how like the drama of him actually dying and her reaction to it. Like it was really good.
Yep.
Well, even later with her reaction.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. I think Tina's probably the best of the teenagers. Like when it comes to the acting.
Probably. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
She did really good.
She's the only one worth remembering the name.
Right.
I didn't.
We only remember Jackie because she screams a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, shut up, Jackie.
So Brody, so they find out that there's something going on at the dock. Brody sees the ambulance drive by, so he decides to go follow it. He still has the blazer, by the way. He's fired. Still has the vehicle.
Yeah, he was going to turn it in. He said,
yeah.
He's like, I'm
is that what he was doing? Oh, okay. I missed that. I was just like, why does he still have it?
He mentions it when he's drunk the night before, in the morning. In the morning, he's like, "Well, I guess I'm gonna go turn the truck in and clean up my desk and all this stuff."
Yeah, and his wife is like, "Are you still gonna take me to work?"
He's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "What do you say about I go beat the shit out of your boss or something like that?"
Yeah.
She's like, "You want me to quit?" And he's like, "No, we're gonna need the income."
Yeah,
yeah, because their boss is Len, piece of shit. Yeah. So he goes there, and then Brody steals the boat to go get Michael and Sean because they find out, like, he knows it's a shark, and he knows that Michael and Sean are out there.
Yeah. Well, he only knows Michael's out there. Right. He doesn't know Sean's out there yet.
Right.
Because they think Sean's just playing somewhere.
Yeah.
70s nobody cared what their kids did. It's like, run wild and free. Just come home at some point.
So, yeah. So Brody steals the boat. Ellen goes with him, and so does Hendrix. The kids end up Michael decides that the lighthouse isn't cool enough. There's another cool spot they can go to. So they go past the lighthouse, but Brody thinks that they're going to the lighthouse. So that's where they're going.
Yeah.
On their way there, they run into Tina's boat.
Yep.
And they don't see anybody on there, but then they hear Tina crying. And thank God Ellen's there because Brody has no idea how to comfort this girl. He's just like, come here, just hold her, all right? And she tells him like it was a shark, and it's still around. She's hallucinating. Of course, she's like, it's still there. It's still like, and I was waiting for them to like pan the camera out to the water, and it was like circling them, but it was just her. She just lost her mind, which is understandable. So. Brody flags a boat that's going by to take Ellen, Tina, and Hendrix back to to shore to get Tina some medical attention. And Brody takes the boat. And this is when the shark literally just dismantles every boat that the kids have.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, the shark attacks one boat, and all the other boats just crash into each other.
Yeah, they forget how to sail.
Yeah, yes. It was like, ah! Like one ship's going to the other, and it was literally like a square of boats. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
During
but
all
nobody
this,
dies yet.
Yeah.
Right?
No, not yet. So shark attacks all the kids. Girl with so Sean gets to hang out with this older girl. What a lucky little kid. Like he's like, this girl's like, I'll hang out with you, Sean. He's like, all right.
You want to come on my boat?
Cool. She doesn't know how to steer a boat. She flips the boat.
Yeah, so we talked about this. Like, how did this happen? She's like, I don't know.
Yeah, she flips the boat. And during all this, Mike gets like hit in the head with a sail or something and gets knocked out.
This is how we need to get rid of him.
This is how the director figured out to get rid of him, which is fine by me. So Brody's calling the harbor patrol helicopter. He's like, I need you to go find, there's kids out there sailing. Originally he thought they were at the lighthouse, but then he finds they're not there. And he goes to the lighthouse. He's like, oh, I'm all by myself. I don't know where I'm going. I've only lived on this island for 4 years. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, clearly. Anything in the waters,
like,
no.
Which way do I go?
Yeah.
That way.
And the shark, so the harbor patrol helicopter finds the kids. He goes down, and this is where I'm confused. You're going to put a tow line from a helicopter to a boat?
I commented about that.
What?
I was like, that's got to be incredibly difficult to deal with.
And it's very straining on the helicopter. Like, it's putting a lot of weight on it, which then you're going to be burning through fuel like way fast. And eventually it's probably not even going to make it to shore. It's a dumb idea. This was a very poor. The thing is that you go, okay, they're here, come with a boat. They have a coast guard, because they were like, I'm going to tow you in, and then we're going to have a Coast Guard, I think it's called Skinner, come get you guys. Like, what? Then why are you towing them in? Just have have them come over here. It was such a stupid thing. But the shark attacks the helicopter.
Yeah, because he thought it was a bad idea too.
Yeah, he was like, "This is stupid. Why are you here?" He attacks the helicopter. Yeah, flips it.
Yeah,
flips it
Bruce
around.
the Deuce.
He's only trying to help.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
He was trying to get him up in the air.
He's like, no, you need more lift. More lift.
Oh, Sean, and so during all this, Sean falls into the water. And the girl that he was riding with jumps in to get him. She gets him out of the water, but then she gets killed. She gets eaten.
No.
And Sean sees this. Yeah. Like, within 2 feet of his eyes, he sees this woman get eaten. And then the next scene proceeds of him gripping the top, or it was whatever's on the bottom of the boat. He's like gripping it really hard, and the guys are like, grab on the line. They're like being assholes to Sean. Like, he just witnessed death. This kid is like 9. He just witnessed death.
Yeah.
And you guys are like being little douchebags to him.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up.
The blonde-headed curly guy is like, damn it, Sean, if you don't grab that line, I'm going to break your ass.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, what the hell? Also, Ellen confronts her boss. Like, her boss is like, oh, well, we didn't think it was this bad. We didn't know it was for it was for people's best. Yeah. She's like, shut the fuck up, pretty much. Like,
isn't that the same line the mayor feeds in the first movie?
Yeah,
it was for everyone's best.
Yeah. So Brody runs into Michael and a couple of the other guys. I don't remember which guys they were, but when Michael becomes unconscious, they throw him on one of the good boats and tell him to go to shore. And then Brody runs into them, and Michael, and this is the last time we see Michael, thank God. And he's like, Sean's out there. I'm so sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry. That's literally his line delivery. It was awful. And he's just like, it's okay. Just go away. We don't want to see you anymore.
Please never appear in the film again. Bye.
So Brody proceeds to head towards, I believe they were at Cable Junction. Isn't that what it was called? Right?
Yeah.
That's where all the cables are coming off. Yeah. The freaking Jackie girl is just screaming continuously for so long that Larry Jr. picks her up, grabs her and shakes her and tells her to shut up. And everybody's telling everybody else to shut up. It was a lot of shut ups getting thrown around.
You should have just thrown her in the water.
Holy crap, man.
Sacrifice her.
Yikes.
More blood for the blood gods.
Yeah. Brody finds the kids. And as he's trying to feed a line over to them to kind of drag them over for them to all just get on the boat, the shark, that's the scene where the shark comes in between the boats and it hits the side of the sailboat and its face distorts.
Yeah, it's like
and that's when Brody decides, I'm gonna gun the boat into the rocks. Like, he gets scared and just and guns the boat into the rocks.
That's smart.
And that's when, so then he proceeds to have them throw a line that he ties to like the hooks that are on the back of the boat.
Yeah,
And he
little
tells them,
wenching things,
yeah, and he's like, I'm going to try to pull you guys towards him. He's like, why? Where are you going? You ain't going nowhere. Your boat's literally in
Yeah.
rocks. Like, I'm so, like, this, all of the things that happen, like, when it comes to him, like, still trying to rescue them, like, how are you rescuing them? You're going to get them on the boat. Where are you going?
Yeah.
At least they're on dry land until Bruce grows legs, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
He starts walking up. That's Jaws
Sand
6,
sharks.
everybody.
sand shark. Yeah.
The hook though snags one of the power lines on the bottom of on the ocean floor, and then the shark proceeds to just circle the boat that has Jackie and Sean on it because all the other kids fell off and they swam to shore, and Jackie and Sean are the only two left on the boats, and the shark is circling around the boat, and Jackie is screaming the entire time. Like Sean is yelling, but he's yelling for his dad, where she's just blood curdling. She's just screaming. Oh my God.
Way to be supportive of the child. Thank you, Jackie.
Holy crap, man.
You're contributing so much to this film.
So Martin
has.
so when they pull up the power line, Martin has a good idea where he's gonna shimmy himself over to the boats. But then the shark, but then he changes his mind and he uses the raft, right? He opens up the raft, and he's on the raft and he starts hitting. So he's trying to get the shark away from them. So he grabs a paddle and starts hitting the power line with the paddle, which then distracts the shark. But the shark swims away. At least that's what you think.
Yeah.
You're like, all right. But then his idea was, oh, well, I'm going to try to kill the shark. So he decides to start hitting it again with the paddle, which then brings the shark towards him, and he's got the cool line. And of course, he always has to have something cool to say before the shark ends up dying.
Oh, absolutely.
So what do you know what the quote was that he says before the shark? So in the first one was "Smile, you son of a bitch."
Yeah.
Before he shoots the shark. This one, as the shark is about to bite down, he says, "Open wide, say ah." And then the shark bites down on the power line, fries this thing. And if for a split second you could tell that the shark is a mechanical shark, not that you didn't know that for the duration of this film, but when when the skin starts to melt, you can actually see some of the mechanisms in the face.
Oh, okay. There you go. So
I feel like they just did not care.
Oh, absolutely not. Like this at this point in the movie, like my daughter again is out there. I'm like, I said something like, "Oh, look, they got the shark." And then she's like watching this like shark entirely, his head engulfed in flames, lightning everywhere. And she's like, "Is it dead?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's dead, Sarah."
No, not yet.
So yeah, so the shark it literally just fries. It burns up and then slowly sinks to the bottom. And Martin rows over, gets Sean and Jackie onto the raft, and then proceeds to go to the shore. As the end credits are rolling, by the way, I want to know how the hell they got back. How did they get back?
I don't know.
Listen, at the end of Jaws,
they rode Bruce's body to the. I don't know.
Listen, when they got at the end of Jaws, they float on a piece of debris. Him and Hooper, and it shows them throughout the entire end credits. It shows them slowly making it to shore, which was a cool thing. This movie was like, don't question this, okay? Just it's a happy ending. The shark's dead. Where it's over. Yeah, but where are they going? How are they getting back? You got like 6 teenagers and a little boy on a raft because you got your boat stuck in the rocks. Crazy.
Hope
and
that strong legs.
Yeah. They'll all kick together. They'll take turns. They'll cycle out.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Jaws 2.
Back for snacks.
Wow. This is probably going to be actually, I would say shortest episode, but I think our first episode was only like an hour long.
Yeah, I think it was. I think you're right.
So I mean, we have a lot of rankings we do on this show, but you know what? Like we were saying before, Jaws will never be dethroned.
Oh no.
Jaws will always be number one. And to be honest, I think this one will always stay at number 2 because we got Jaws 3D, Jaws the Revenge, and Cruel Jaws
Yes.
to review.
I can't wait for the Disney
and-
adaptation, Air Jaws. Go ahead. Sorry. Shit.
Oh, but we all know that those films are going to be on the bottom of the list.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I said before, I had a lot of fun with this movie. I thought it was for a movie, I feel it didn't need a sequel.
Okay.
I
agree.
This was a pretty good sequel. Like for something we did not need. This was pretty good. I cannot say the same about the next two.
No. It was decent. I mean, it had a few parts where it kind of dragged and like the kids and stuff were annoying, but that's
lot of filler.
So everything's number 2, right? Everything's
number 2. Everything. Yeah. I mean, there's really no.
Bruce the Deuce.
I mean, is this shark better than the shark from Jaws? No, exactly.
No, the problem is this, like, it's fine because of how this was. Like, it was already established in the first movie, but like the tension was there not showing him. Like that was part of it.
Right.
I mean, it was broke, but it was part of the tension. It just worked. What about you, dear? Do you give it number 2 still?
Yeah.
Okay. A solid, just like
yeah.
number 2.
Solid number 2.
It was decent. I haven't seen it forever, so it was decent.
A solid deuce.
It was a solid deuce.
When we get to franchises that actually have more than like one good movie, it'll be a lot more interesting to rank them. But I mean, for the next,
only had one good movie.
No. I'm talking about. I'm talking about after this. You know,
okay.
It's hard to rank the Jaws franchise, especially when a lot of people don't even know that it is a franchise. It's more. A lot of people just think Jaws. They think of, the original film. There's technically 5 films. I didn't even know there was 5 films.
Yeah, well, it's unofficial, but still, it's there.
Whatever. It literally credits Peter Benchley, so it's technically a sequel.
I've seen that. I want to point this out because you mentioned the one girl skiing is Terry.
Yeah.
Did you notice that Terry's now officially make it on 2 posters?
Was that the?
Look at the poster for number 2 and the poster for number 1. Isn't that supposed to be Terry swimming in the water?
No, that was Chrissy.
Where was Terry come from?
Terry is the skier.
Terry's the skier.
Okay.
Chrissy is the girl who dies in the beginning.
Okay, I thought her name was Terry.
That's wrong though, because she was only on.
Yeah, she was on one ski. She didn't have to steer. Okay, my apologies.
And I don't think she was. And she wasn't.
Still BA.
And she wasn't wearing a bikini.
No,
I believe
she was not. She was like a yeah. I would totally have that Jaws 2 poster.
So cool.
It's really good.
That's the cover of the novelization. I wish I
have an idea. I want to make a book because of all these brilliant ideas I've had watching this movie. Brilliant. Number 1. This is patent pending. Don't take my idea. I'm going to make a book and I'm going to call it Predatory Prejudice, Jaws 2, an alternate perspective. And it'll all be from Bruce's point of view about how he's just trying to help everybody. But he doesn't understand why everybody's dying around him.
Oh, man.
This needs to happen. Like he was trying to get the kids to the boat when he came up in the middle of the boat at the very end. He's like, "Children, get to land!" Like, no, Martin, don't hold that black cable. It's electrical. And then he tries to get it out of his then he dies.
Oh man,
I need this to be a thing. Carry on. I'm just being an idiot now.
Parker's over here like, oh gosh.
I'm looking through the trivia because there's a couple good ones that I'm seeing here. Jaws was actually the second most expensive film in 1978 behind Superman.
Oh, the Superman was good.
$30 million to make this film, which in 1978 or in 2020 equals up to 120 million.
What did it gross? While you're looking that up, interesting fact that you mentioned Superman, the director of this movie went on to do the horrid live-action Supergirl film.
That's funny.
The connections continue.
Oh, I don't. Let's see.
And if you can't find no big thing, but you mentioned revenues, it's like, oh, hey, kind of curious how that did.
Let's see.
And while you're saying that, I would say this felt much more like a monster movie than the original one even did. Like a lot.
Definitely. Let's see. Let's go to Wikipedia.
Wikipedia?
Wick. Wikipedia. Sorry.
No, I thought that was like something I didn't understand. It was like a joke there, and I was like, I'm sorry.
It opened to a gross of 9 million in 640 theaters. It was ranking first and giving it the highest grossing opening weekend of all time up to that point.
Wow.
As well as the single day record of 3.5 million, despite opening on the same day as Grease.
Oh, screw that. I'd rather watch this than Grease.
It went on to earn $77 million during its initial release, making it one of the highest grossing films in 1978.
We lost just a little bit of that, so.
Oh, it grossed 77 million during its initial release, but surpassed 100 million with reissues, ultimately earning 102 million and 208 million worldwide.
Oh, which is really good. At least it made its money back. That's definitely good. I didn't mention this when we did Jaws last week.
Yeah.
The last time we watched Jaws prior to the viewing for that review, which we watched it in theaters.
Oh yeah, we did get to watch it in theaters. It was
so good in theaters.
I actually have never seen Jaws in theaters.
No,
I saw Jaws. It was called Jaws Live, which is they play the movie and they had a live orchestra play the music.
Whoa, that's cool.
That was really cool.
That's dope.
I
thought
did
maybe there was somebody in a shark costume on set.
Oh, please.
Shark Jaws Live is a Broadway play.
The Bruce animatronics come swinging down.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Oh man. Well, that was Jaws 2.
Yes, it was.
Next week, we move on to the 1983 classic Jaws 3 or Jaws 3D, which was yeah.
3
it came
years
out
between
the
the first
same, and it had a lot of competition. It came out the same year as Return of the Jedi.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, I would still rather watch Jaws 3 than Grease.
Oh man.
No way.
I can't.
Oh,
And also, I
no
believe
way.
let me. I have to look because so Dennis Quaid is in Jaws 3.
He is.
Dennis
He is.
Quaid. I want to know if that was his first movie. A second here.
Well, don't forget who's in Jaws 4.
Oh my God!
Notable actors that are in Jaws 4.
I have an amazing quote from him that not in the movie, but that he said it from an interview. It was like 25 years after the movie came out. No, it wasn't Dennis Quaid's first movie, but it was really early in his career. Whew. Man. Parker, I just wanted to say you're a beast. I got my second shot Saturday, was in bed all day. I felt like I got my second shot yesterday and I still am feeling a little
We were pretty rough the day after ours. It's just like it's like having a bad cold or really bad flu, but with like no mucus, no sneezing, coughing, none of that. It just felt like somebody beat you up.
Yeah. It was
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It was one of those things where like I felt fine all day until like an hour before I went to bed. That just like just hit me out of nowhere, and then I was pretty much just vegging all day today.
Yeah, what Rudy said here, I pretty much the same for Jaws 2. Like the main thing I remember from 2 and 3 is the endings. Like that's what I remember.
Listen, chat, I'm gonna reenact the ending of Jaws 3 live on stream. So if you want to see me reenact it, because it's literally you are able to reenact it because it's that good. I can easily do it here. So
that's
just stay tuned for that. So next week, next Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, we're gonna be reviewing Jaws 3D. Whoo, maybe Nemesis will be back.
I hope so.
With his fridge.
Just put a still image of his fridge over
I think I could talk him into doing that because I'm like, I don't think he's gonna have a fridge behind him, but we can get him to just put like just put a JPEG of a fridge behind him.
He needs to have one near his desk, like a little fridge or something. And anytime he goes for the fridge, somebody just needs to yell fridge.
Yes.
Anytime he goes for something, yes. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh man. So Chad, this episode will be on podcast services tomorrow around 8 a.m. So if you couldn't watch it live, make sure to check out Spotify or Apple Podcasts tomorrow around 8 o'clock. Also, I'm going to try to get on Google Podcasts this week. I don't know why we're still not on there, but we're going to be on there. Yeah, that is about it. This was a quick and painless episode. Talk about Jaws 2. Like I said, this movie was good for a sequel to a fantastic film in my eyes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's good.
Other than that, we're in for a real shit show for the next 3 weeks. So hold on to your butts, as Samuel Jackson would say. All right, I am the Parker XP, and we have DNA Gaming over there. Thank you for joining once again. We'll see you all next. Oh, anytime. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Bye.